Hey guys, it's great to be hanging out with you guys again. I don't do this very often, but I always love it when I do. I've been doing more live streaming on Periscope, but it's always fun to do it with your YouTube subscribers. So thanks for hanging out with us here, guys. What we are doing is celebrating 100,000 stinking subscribers here on Video Creators, and I got a couple friends with me here to help me celebrate. Oh, I got an ad playing. Let's close the ad. There we go. Um, and those people are Jason Urgo from socialblade.com and Derral Eves from derraleves.com. If you watch any of the videos, you know what that is. So I asked them, and I asked a couple other people too, but the people who actually showed up here are Derral and Jason. And the people I wanted to invite to this, I wanted to for a couple different reasons. So for Jason, I should call you Urgo. Sorry.
Hey, I answer to both. It doesn't
People
matter.
know you by that, don't they? But
Yeah.
for Jason, Urgo slash Jason, I wanted to invite him here because you were like one of the first YouTubers that I got to know as a part of the YouTube community who's still actually active on YouTube in one way or another. You know, like so it started for me. The very first person I discovered and subscribed to, start following was Kevin Naltz, and so then I discovered you, Jason Urgo, through him, and because you were doing the Orbit 360 thing. What year was that? That was.
Oh, I want to say that was 5 years ago now, like 2010-ish, about
Oh,
that.
okay.
And actually, Naltz was actually, I think, the first person I subscribed to on YouTube too. So we
Oh,
have that in
really?
common.
Do you
Yeah.
know Naltz, Derral?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, cool. He's a good guy. So Jason Urgo is here because I don't know. We've done this YouTube thing together for a long, long time. First, when it was just vlogging and Social Blade was a dig thing, and then it morphed into like a YouTube thing. And then I morphed more into YouTube as well. So Jason and I have been through like YouTube. I don't want to say we've been through YouTube together, but you know what I mean. Like we've known each other for a while in YouTube space, and so that's been fun. So I wanted Jason to be here. And Derral is if you guys who don't know Derral, and all their channels are linked up in the description below if you guys want to check him out. But Derral is a guy who helped me start thinking through the business side of my YouTube channel. You remember that?
I remember that conversation quite well, actually.
And what do you think now as you look back on that? Oh, let me give the history for people to know. So I was like, I was doing a lot of stuff at Real SEO for a while, and I wanted Mark Robertson to be here, but he couldn't make it because I started all this because of him. And then it's around like what was that? 2013 I launched this channel, and I was just like making videos like I don't really know what I'm doing, and I got to VidCon, met Derral, and I was like, how does the business, like how do I actually turn this into a viable business, you know? And so what do you remember of that conversation that we had that at VidCon, Derral?
I remember that you were clueless, and it shocked me a little
Still
bit.
am.
It shocked me just a little bit, but no, that from that it's always about monetization, and a lot of people like the YouTubers specifically just think monetization only has to do with AdSense,
Yeah.
what you're going to get off the ads, and that's totally the opposite of what's the reality. You know, figuring out other ways to monetize, figuring out things off of YouTube to monetize. I know that we took quite a bit of time and just went through a whole strategy, and I was really pleased to see that you're implementing a lot of the things that we planned right there in a little corner in VidCon.
Yeah,
So.
not all of it, some of it. I think the main value for me was how to think, you know, not necessarily like X, Y, Z, like what to do, but it was like how should you think about your channel in a way that you can turn it into a business. And so that's been a lot of fun for me to start expanding. And guys, like I've been stumbling through this, like Derral actually has like a marketing degree, like he went to college for like marketing type stuff. I went to college for like all faith-based, you know, theology type stuff, which is awesome. But I was like a complete noob when I came to this stuff with no background. So I really appreciate Derral. So that's why he's here as well. So
And also because you like me, right? That's.
I'm sorry.
I said, also you have me on because you like me, right?
Of course.
That
Yeah.
gratification.
Yeah.
Me and Urgo need the little
Oh, yeah.
pat on that. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, the people I wanted to have here were the people who have had an instrumental role in one way or another in this channel, and both of you certainly have. And like I said, Mark Robertson is the other person who wanted to be here, but because Mark's the guy who started Real SEO, and he's the one who kind of got me started in all this, and showed me that, hey Tim, I think you know some things that most people don't know. Like maybe you should give yourself some credit. I'm like, really? People don't know that? But he can't make it. So here's what we want to do with you guys today who are watching. Is I see you guys in the comments. Hi Jessica J. Hi How to Every. Inked Games, Amir Roth. I see all you guys, Andrew McKenzie, Photography, Artland. And what I want to do with all you guys is I brought on these two guys, and I'm here. We want to help answer some of your questions about YouTube, do some YouTube Q&A with you guys. But I also want to do some other things, which is I'm getting a new hat, which my wife is really excited about. And honestly, like I kind of am too. We'll talk more about that when we get there. But I got 2 new hats I need to initiate. Yes, I did say your name, Jessica J. I see you there. She's like, oh my gosh, she said my name. And 20 seconds with MC. I'm hoping you get a crazy hat. We will see how crazy. They're not that crazy. I'm a pretty bland guy when it comes to hats. On Snapchat, I was trying out some like fedoras and what are the hats that like they look really flop, like lazy? They just flop down on top of the bill. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What are those called?
I don't remember what it's called, but I saw it on Snapchat, and it definitely did make you look like an old man, like you said. But you actually did look good in it too, for whatever that.
I felt like I needed to be like a bus driver, like a old school bus driver or something.
It was more of a chauffeur, just like.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
you want to have another job as an Uber driver? There you go.
There you go.
Healthy Junk Food says I need a new hat, and they would know because they met me at VidCon and saw it. So, so ask your questions, YouTube questions. Me, Urgo, and Derral are here. All of us are here to help answer your questions about YouTube. We'll talk about whatever you guys want. So just comment below. The other thing I want to do here, besides answering your questions and initiating a new hat, is tell you guys some things that are on the horizon for video creators. I don't have them all figured out yet. But I do want to give you some like ideas of where this is heading. So R3B says love the new Social Blade look.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was gonna type in the chat. Thanks, R3Bs.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So everyone's talking about the hat. So I might as well just go with the hat thing since people aren't. Let's do this one real quick. Inked Games. How do you disable monetization? Derral, go.
So all you need to do is go into your video creator, click on the video manager, click on the specific video, or select all the videos. You can either select all of them, and then there's just right above that there's a little drop down button where it says monetize or unmonetize. Just click that, and it will unmonetize all your videos.
Boom. Or if you want to do individual ones, you just click on the little green icon next to it in your video manager too. That'll do that.
Or if you just need to temporarily quickly disable all of them, if you go in the channel advanced settings, there's an allow advertisements to be displayed alongside my videos too.
Or you could just delete your AdSense account too, but I'll have to say
don't do that. No. There's actually an issue with that one. If you actually go in and do YouTube monetization disable, sometimes that triggers YouTube to think that you got it disabled like through a strike or something. So don't do it that way.
Yeah, I'm just playing. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a hat. Christine says yes. Hat. Let's do this one. We'll get to that in a second. Greg's Garage. Complete a business plan before you start, or work on it as your channel develops. What do you guys think?
I'll grab that one because that's one that I love. I actually believe in developing a plan before you actually start and really trying to understand who your audience is, ways that you're able to monetize, and then figure out what type of content that target audience is actually going to love and want. And it will modify because you're going to analyze and adjust based off of the information, the data that you're able to collect. But honestly, the more that you put in planning, I think the better you're going to execute and reach the goals that you want, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree for the most part. If you have something in mind that you definitely want to do, that you want to talk about, I don't know, chip clips. Like, if that's what your thing is that you want to do, then as much as you can. But if you know you just love making videos and you're not exactly sure what your niche is exactly at the beginning, I'd say it's also okay to try some various things to find out what you like doing first before you necessarily come up with a plan based on that too.
The way I did it is I started with an idea of a business model, and then I just kind of went with that. And I had some things right, I had a lot of things wrong, and but I think you asking the question indicates that you're going in the right direction. That you should at least be thinking about it, and go with what you know, and then talk to other people, learn from other people, read books. I've burned through a ton of business-related books, not YouTube business, but just business in general, and learned a lot from them. And you can always someone's calling me on Hangouts.
They want to jump on.
Yeah,
They're part of the conversation here.
Yeah, so so go with that. Hope that helps. All right, I just hit 500 subs. This is Man vs. Universe.
Sweet.
Which I met him in Seattle a couple weeks ago. Should I change my channel URL name? Hold on, you guys are talking too fast. It's currently my name instead of my channel name. Hit 500 subscribers. He can have a custom URL now. Should he change it and have it as his name, or should he make it after his channel name?
Well, I think it really depends on what his long-term goal is. You know, what are you looking to brand? You know, for us, I mean, for me specifically, I have a channel that's my name. However, if I'm looking to brand something else, whether was it Man versus Universe, whatever that may be, then you probably want to change it to that. I think the critical thing is when somebody's going to think about your content, what are they going to type in? What's going to be relevant? Is it your name or is it your channel name? And if so, that's what I would do as a custom URL in YouTube, so that when they're searching on YouTube or Google or other places, that whatever they're thinking about is coming up first.
Cool. Cars and vlogs. How small can a channel be and still be profitable? I keep asking the question because I'm not sure how these pop up in your feed. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. Cars and vlogs. I actually on today's video is about that very well. The video. See, all right. Let's talk about this, guys. So, did you guys see today's video by any chance, Derral?
What's that?
Did any of you guys see today's video by any chance?
I have not seen it yet.
I know. I wouldn't have watched it either, but but the video I talk about, and this is to answer your question, is that I have a whole talk. There's a half hour that I did at Vlogger Fair a few weeks ago about how to think about your channel in a way that can earn up to $10,000 a month from a relatively small audience, and it's gotten a lot of great feedback. So I figured I'd share it with the YouTube channel rather than just like my patrons and my email insiders. And so I talked about it in today's video, and the title was something like "For Small Channels, Learn to Earn $10,000 a month on YouTube," something like that. And it was like a 4-minute video. It's like my normal Tuesday videos, which is like I share a bunch of links, updates, what's happening in the online industry, point to more rich links in the description below to get more. So I guess a lot of people were disappointed that I didn't actually share how to do that in 4 minutes or less. So they've got a lot of thumbs down. So I updated the title, hoping that it would be more clear. But I guess people are still expecting like the secret sauce in 4 minutes or less to something that big. So I'm sorry if people think it's like a clickbait title or something. But my answer to your question is that go click on the link in the description of that video of today, and that will that'll give you my half-hour answer to that question. So one more, then let's get to the hat.
Hey, Tim, Tim, do you mind if I answer that too? Just real quick. Go watch Tim's video first, for sure. But I'm a firm believer that as soon as you launch a channel, you need to be starting making money at that channel outside of AdSense. Tim's going to give you some great suggestions, I would assume, you know, in that content. That's part of your plan. I work with small channels that end up being huge channels, but the first thing that we usually do is figure out, okay, what can we actually monetize immediately? You know, and what's the threshold? We have I have a subscriber, or a channel that I've been working with that started with nothing, got 5,000 subscribers in about 4 months, but she's also making right around $400 to $800 a month now. outside of AdSense. And the great thing about it, she had a plan, she executed it, and she was making content that people loved, and they were also, you know, bringing in other elements like some merchandise, Patreon, and a few things that Tim's, I would assume, is talking about in that video as well.
Yeah, the video, like I said, guys, just point, like those Tuesday videos just point you to other links and resources. So that one, I don't go into detail. I kind of pitch what I talk about, why I think it's important and valuable for you guys, and then the full link is in the description below. There's a follow-up, and then we'll do the hat thing. Cards and Vlog said, I saw today's video. I'm going to listen to the podcast after the stream. Definitely. I was just wondering what a general minimum channel size would be. And what I talked about in there is that the channel size isn't dependent on how much money you make if you wrap a business around it, like Derral and I are suggesting, but it's more about the target audience and the value that you're delivering and the model itself, you know. So like in there I talk about when I first started Video Creators, I launched off I had 6 months to start it and then be full-time on it because my other job was ending. So I had 6 months, and by the end of 6 months, I had about 3,000 subscribers, and for the next 3 months, I made about $10,000 a month after that on 3,000 subscribers. However, it tanked after that because I had to, like, I was floating for a while, like, yeah, I got this, and the roller coaster was like, oh no, I don't. I know nothing about this. And so it went up there, but now, you know, here we are. I make several 5 figures a month and have a small team. I don't pocket all that. It goes to a small team of us that work together to help train you guys and help you do what we're doing and help you guys ultimately spread a message that changes lives. That's really what I care most about here, more so than the money and or lack thereof sometimes and everything else, you know. So that's all that. Okay, cool. If you guys have more questions, keep asking them. Let's do the hash thing. Bye, Jessica J. He has to go to class. So
before the hat, just one other last thing to add to that. There's obviously all these other things also that do count, like, you know, brand deals and merchandise and Patreon, all of that. But just to plug that on Social Blade, we do have an estimated earnings calculator on there also that you can actually put in a view number, and it'll tell you, at least with AdSense, what their range is for that also. So for not counting all of these extra things, you can get an idea of just, at least with YouTube alone, what various numbers actually turn into.
Yes. Cool. All right. So let's talk about the hat. So this hat, I got the new ones right here. If you follow me on Snapchat, you already saw them. But so my wife is really excited about this because she calls this hat really hurtful things like gross and disgusting, and it should be burned. It hurts my feelings. It does, actually. I figured the issue there.
Your comfort blanket, right? Is that what it is?
I guess. Like I think I need to go to counseling because I never realized until she started just harsh, cruel things. So I was like, stop it. This is a part of me. So anyway, but it is kind of, you know, it's getting some, you know, holes in the back of it.
Wow.
And this isn't. Usually I keep them. I usually just put duct tape, you know. And my hat, 2 hats before this actually was just lined with duct tape in the middle before I got. When the goo of the duct tape started getting sweaty into my hair, that's when I got a new one.
How long have you had this hat now?
So I think 8 years.
Wow.
So I go hat shopping about every 8 years, and I usually go. I get, you know, 2 hats because it's like jean shopping. It's really hard to find a pair that fits, you know. So so I usually get 2, and my strategy last time I got 2 was get this one. This would be like my backwards hat because it's fitted, you know, and then the other one was like my forwards hat. So that worked well for a while until the forwards hat wore out, and I switched to this one both ways, and this one's wore out. So my strategy this time, though, my wife said, you should get one hat that'll be your clean hat, and then you should wear another hat that's going to be your sweaty hat. So when you're mowing the lawn, you're outside with the kids, you can keep your normal hat clean longer by wearing the sweaty hat. So here's... I can't believe I'm going to do this. This is
everyone in the chat is going, OMG, 8 years, whoa.
Everyone's going to tweet my wife and tell her she's a hat hater. No, she just likes clean things. It's a woman. So here's the sweaty hat. I'll give you the sweaty hat first. So it's this Nike fitted hat that's like got this like breathable mesh and stuff on the side that's like made for sweating in. It's like moisture wicking, whatever. I don't even know how it knows how to do that, but apparently it does. And so this is giving me my sweaty hat. So if I'm outside mowing the lawn, playing with the kids, doing stuff outside, this is everyone's freaking out. Tim's hair, he has hair.
So take note also how bright that swoosh is right now.
Yeah, well, see, here's my kids.
Yes.
I show this to my kid. They don't know what a Nike swoosh is. They're like, Daddy, he doesn't have a nose. I'm like, what do you mean he doesn't have a nose? Like, look, his eyes, and he doesn't have a nose. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. So here's the sweaty hat, okay? And here is the new, it's not Adidas anymore. Sorry, Adidas. I got no brand deal with them. But it's the same type of feel. It's a Puma hat. And fits okay. So one of the stipulations is that it can't make your ears stick out. Like most hats, like that's the problem with the piano guy's hat you gave me, Derral, is it makes my ears stick out. So this one is snug enough, makes my ears like sit flat. But this one I can also turn around when I want to and have a big cougar on my head. So now I just look like it's a beanie or something.
In the chat, Joe goes, somewhere out there, the CEO of Adidas is crying.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they can reach out to me.
What I thought was the best is when I saw Tim's family photo that he had the hat on. His nice clothes. Everybody was dressed really nice. And then you had that big old ugly hat.
It's not ugly. Stop saying that. There's some fighting words there.
Oh, we know how to rile you up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I take it off to sleep, shower. That's it. Sometimes in church, sometimes not. But usually there. But other than that, yeah, it's usually on. So I don't know why. It started when I was a kid. I think my first hat was like one of those painter's hat that had like a cardboard brim on it that would just disintegrate when you sweat. I got it at camp, and when I was like 7 or 8, that was my first hat. So
Andrew asks, what is going to happen to the old hats now?
My wife says burn it. I think it's a little too hostile. Something that has been a part of, like, I brought kids home in this hat.
Like, literally, were they in it?
You should either make a plaque for it that you can put it in there, like encase it, or bronze it. There you go.
Bronze it. Someone said sell it on eBay, but I would feel really bad selling this to somebody. So I'm probably just gonna throw it away. Ultimately, or if I do burn it, I'll definitely Snapchat that or something. But yeah.
Little memorial service.
Yeah. For it after I burn it.
Christian who said frame it. I think framing it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Bring it. My wife would never go into that room. So anyway, so here's the new hat, guys. It's got a little orange underneath, so on my camera, I got a little bit of color. It's not too flashy. I don't really like the bright stuff. So
Johnny Pugh said auction it. You could do like a charity auction or something.
There you go.
Who really would want to pay more than? Who would pay anything?
Do it as like a social experience.
Yeah.
See what happens here. You little experiment and see how much it goes for. It might shock you that somebody wants your sweaty hat.
I would feel like I'm doing them a disservice by knowing it.
No, but
it would be
put
for
a disclaimer out.
for charity.
Guys, comment. You tell me. What do you think? What I should do with the hat? I haven't decided yet. Burn it.
Would you bid on the hat? I mean, literally put in the chat if you'd bid on the hat or not.
Really? You think people would do that? You can. All right. Yeah. Fine. If you would pay money for that hat, give me your price. And yeah, I guess that's what my Playhouse says. 100,000 subscriber giveaway. That's my prize. I guess my hat.
I thought he was gonna pay $100,000 for it.
Oh. Well, if you do that, I would worry about you. $100 says the king of DIY. $30.
Yen. How's your currency translator?
Yeah, hanging on the wall. I don't know. You guys, let me know. I'll watch and see. $50. I'll pay you $5 to burn it. Derek. 40,000 yen. How much is that?
$2.
$2. Okay. 200,000? Are you serious? Oh, 2 million Monopoly money. All right, you guys aren't serious. I get it. I see how it is.
I
Let's do
really
some more
I
questions.
think you should put a video out and let them do it. Do it right in from fan funding.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't. Can you tell in fair funding?
Yeah,
I don't think you can
technically
see
you
who it
can.
I think
is.
you can do another option, can't you?
No, I don't. I don't think you can do it for any goods or services. And you can't even like support my life type of thing. It has to be for. You can't even ask illicit for it according to the whatever the
But,
agreement.
Terms of
but it
service.
doesn't tell you who's the donator though either with those things, does it?
If
No,
they,
it
if they,
It does not. Yeah.
yeah, if they leave their name, they can put a comment and it goes to your
Hmm.
discussion tab on your
Okay.
channel. The way I do it now is after they donate, they instead of seeing a text thank you, they have a custom video from me that says thank you, and I tell them in that video to comment on this video. It's unlisted, so the only people who see that video are people who contributed using the fan funding thing on the channel. And so anyone who comments on that, I know is like a supporter, and so I always make sure I try to reply back to those.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right. What other questions do you guys have? What are some of the other ones I saw back there?
So I got a question while you're still looking for questions, Tim.
Okay.
What was your favorite video that you made on your channel, and why?
I think the favorite one is the one where I talk about parasocial relationships. I think it's called something like you don't know like the effect that you have on your fans or something. And in it, I talk about what social scientists call parasocial relationships, which is when one party knows a great deal about the other party, but that party knows absolutely nothing about this party, you know?
Right.
And I talk about the effect that has on the fans. There's a whole other video I want to do sometime, but I don't know how to say it in a way that's going to be received well because most of it is bad about how it affects us. But as creators, but I want to talk more about. I talked about how the impact and influence that has on the fans, and the reason why that's my favorite video is because it goes into like the influence and the difference that we can make in people's lives through online video is actually like there's scientific proof and evidence behind it. It's not just like, hey, I hope someone like sees us. It's like, no, the very nature of what we're doing here sets us up to be able to influence in ways that we don't even know. So a lot of people think it's because like, oh, I got to have a certain message and blur it out all the time, and that's going to change people's lives. But just you by being you in front of people, like they're gonna like say they start to like you. Well, I don't want to repeat the whole video. You can go watch it.
I put it in the chat there. You can copy and
Okay.
paste it with the link. Only the broadcaster can put a link in, I believe.
Oh, where did you put it in the chat here for us?
It's in the side chat here too. Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this. I'll try to put it in the chat for you guys.
I think my favorite ones of all the videos that you've made, especially on video creators, is the ones with your kids. I mean, those are priceless. You know, especially your little boy.
So they're worth more than the hat, you're saying.
It's good.
Yeah, I want to have my kids in it more often. The comments are always mixed on those. You know, sometimes people are like, "Oh, I love your kids; it's so cute," and people are like, "So this is how you're just trying to gain views."
Oh my gosh.
Hey, whatever works, man. Not really, but yeah. So healthy junk food. What's your I missed it. What's your most successful source of income? Me is product sales. Derral and Jason? If you guys don't want to answer that, if you don't want to. If you want to, but you can.
Go ahead, Jason.
Most successful. So with mine, it's a little bit different since I don't really do just videos. I have videos for vlogging in general on my channel, and that always has been just really a way for me to get coffee, and I drink a lot of coffee. But in general, I mean, Social Blade's all around advertising for the most part. So we do custom reports and stuff, but also advertising either on the site and through running the network, advertising through there.
Yeah, and for me, I think the biggest thing for me is, I mean, the channel creates kind of a presence online, that's able to facilitate a little bit what I'm looking to do, which is consult with big brands and businesses out there and some top YouTube channels. And so, it's more like a calling card. And so definitely that consulting and working with them is definitely more profitable than everything else that I do, for sure.
Yeah, totally. My Playhouse asked you, Jason, how do you calculate what I earn on Social Blade?
So earnings on Social Blade, we use I think it's 25 cents on the low CPM at the moment now, and I think it's $4 on the high CPM. And we just look at it is a big range, but we look at all views in general. So, if videos aren't all monetized or people are using ad block heavily on the channel, it's closer to the lower end of the side there. But overall, we see around $1.50 as sort of a general ballpark. So we try to make sure that the low and the high captures all of that. So normally when you look at the range, look somewhere in the middle and on the lower side of the middle there. But for audiences that do monetize better, people definitely do hit the higher side. And if audiences are in lower earning countries, then it's on the lower side, or even it could be underneath if you're definitely not monetizing even 25 cents CPMs. And Tim, actually, a question for you that I saw in there. Can people actually get these anywhere? Since Derral and
I saw a bunch of people asking about the shirts as you were talking.
Yeah.
I used to have them up.
Still have a T-spread. Don't you still have a T-spread shirt?
No, I used to. So they're all right here, literally. All right here. See, here they are.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I haven't sold them for like a few years. Since I think I sold them after I got started. But mostly just give them out to people when I meet them and see them, like you guys. Like I didn't mail those either of you guys, did I?
I think you might have mailed it to me, but yeah.
Oh, did I? Oh, well, either way, I usually don't, so you guys are lucky. So, but you just give them out. I don't know if there's enough demand for them. The problem is for me with like swag and t-shirt sales is that just to be honest, the profit margin, the amount of money I actually make from the effort I put into promoting it, selling them, shipping them, ordering them myself, like the margins are kind of small at the end of the day, and it's a lot of push for not a lot of return.
Honestly, with Social Blade shirts, we do have them available on the website, but I have the markup at 0. I don't make a cent from anyone buying those. We just have them there for people that want them.
Yeah. Cool. Do you, Ghost Ninja, do you have recommended average video length?
Good question.
I'll go there.
I guess the easiest answer is also what YouTube says, is the best length for your video is the duration that it needs to be to get the message across. You don't want to ramble on and on and on just to make a video longer to get more watch time, but you don't want to necessarily cut things short just to, if YouTube is saying 3 minutes is what you need for a video length, having it at 3 minutes when you need to, it takes 6 minutes to get your message across, it should be 6 minutes there. So kind of a cop-out, but that really is my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's all about your audience. It's like I have a client that targets kids that are toddlers, and his content's 3 hours long, and it works really well for them because mom and dad kind of places the toddler right in front of them, the TV or iPod or even the computer, and they're watching the channel, and 3 hours is about the length that works really well. And he has several ads, hitting through that, and I think he probably does about 120 million video views a quarter off of that target audience, but the audience retention on that is like through the roof. I mean, it's crazy. So
cool. Yep, I have nothing to add to that. That's real good. The king of DIY, Tim. You and your wife are both great on camera. Was it always that way, or did she have to warm up to it? Was it a mutual venture to start the family vlog together? So if you listen to that link I talked about earlier, where about how to make money from a relatively small channel, from today's video, I give the full story in there. But basically, what happened is I just uploaded a video just to try it, see what it was like. It was March 2nd, 2006. I uploaded it just as an experiment, and and then my wife, or we were dating at the time, we were just making videos just for fun to share with friends and family because we were both in college and grad school, different places. So we were just making videos for our families, basically. This is pre-Facebook days. So, yeah, so we were just making like little. Now there's known as vlogs, but back then they weren't known that. And then we kind of went off and on for a few years. Did some for here, some there, and then didn't. So it was kind of always been a part of what we've been doing. It wasn't like an intentional like thing. But I will say, if you go back and watch that first video, it's painful to watch. So the camera presence developed over time, just as we kept doing it. In our case, so. How to increase RPM in AdSense? What are the factors that determine RPM? My RPM is around 80 cents. I have a whole video about that. If you search my channel, it's like a 9-minute video that goes into all the factors that determine CPM and RPM and how those two work together and everything. So I don't have it in front of me, but if you search my channel, I think it's called "What Factors Determine Your Ad Rate" or "Money You Make" or something like that. You can find that one. I don't know. I'm sorry for ignoring your question, How to Every. I'm just looking. Whenever I look up, I just go with the question that's in front of me.
I put a couple over the side here. So here's one that I want to hear your thoughts, Tim. Recommended intro length, or what to do about intros in general.
Derral and I are going to disagree about this one.
We are.
I know it, Derral. Yeah. Mine is my answer, and then I'll let you have Derral's answer, and then you can pick whoever you want to go with. But the way I think about them is approximately 3 seconds. It could be a little bit longer. You could creep up to 4 if you wanted to. But I try to keep mine at around 3 seconds, and the goal of the intro is to help bring along a person who's a first-time viewer to the channel who has no idea what video creators is, who Tim Schmoyer is. I just stumbled upon from like a related video somewhere, which is the majority of traffic for a lot of channels. And I want to bring them up to speed really quickly of what this channel is about, who it's for, and why it's valuable. So that when they watch my one video, it's not just like, oh, this is a nice one-off video this guy did about YouTube. Like, oh, no, this video is a part of a big channel that does this type of stuff. So in 3 seconds, I say, master YouTube, spread your message, video creators TV. And that's it, 3 seconds. So you can go creep up a little bit longer, like I said. But the reason I try to keep it short is because I want to reduce the abandonment rate as much as possible, and that I feel like 3 seconds is pretty good. That's not going to cause someone to click away, especially if they go on a viewing binge like session. And I do see that on Twitter a lot. People are like, I just spent the past 3 hours watching Tim Schmoyer. Like, if you have a long intro, that would be painful, right? For someone to sit for 3 hours and watch it over and over again every couple of minutes. So that's my answer. Derral, go ahead.
I agree with you, Tim. I really do.
Oh, I thought you said 5 seconds.
Between 3 to 5. Yeah, I think it really depends on the content itself. But the intro, keep in mind, I like to call that a bumper. Because I don't think it should be at the beginning of the video.
Yes,
I think the bounce rate. I think the bounce rate will be a lot higher, or the abandonment rate will be a lot higher if it's at the beginning of the video. But Tim usually comes on and says what he's going to talk about, and then goes right into that bumper. And that bumper should be 3 to 5 seconds. Closer to 3 if you can, 5 depending on the channel. So.
Yeah. No. What I was looking for was that bumper thing there also. That since we run the network at Social Blade, I watch so many videos of people in the network, and so many people put their intro at the very beginning, and they're also long usually, and that just makes people want to click off. So definitely, actual teaser content at the beginning before it, I think, is the #1 thing to say about it.
Agreed.
So, Derral, you use yours mostly as branding, and I guess I use that loosely as, DerralEves.com, and that's mostly because you want to reinforce that in people's. Is that just what you do, or is that usually what you do with your clients?
No, that's what I do with my clients too. It's all about like for example, if you go and watch Studio C on any of the videos, you're going to hear certain sounds, you're going to see certain graphics, you're going to have a certain bumper each way. And it's all about that branding, that feel, and I really believe that's a really great way to build a community especially when they become familiar with your content. They go, oh, okay, I know what this is, or I know what it's going to be about. I might not know everything that's going to happen in it, but I at least have a good idea of what's going to occur. So.
Yeah. Cool. Before I only got like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes here, guys, because I got my Video Labs course. I gotta jump in with them, which is going awesome. I love those guys. But I gotta jump in with them in 20 minutes. But before I do that, I want to give you guys some, and if we have time after this, we'll do some more questions with you guys for sure. So I don't think it's going to take 20 minutes. But I want to give you guys kind of like a picture, an idea of where I want to go with video creators. And I'd love to hear, Derral, Jason, if you guys have any feedback and thoughts on this too. So I've been doing video creators since 2013, and it's generally been basically the same thing. The only difference is that I started just using my iPhone. You know, in the beginning, I didn't set up lights or anything. I just shot my iPhone. The first videos were just like, and then I was like, okay, well, this is working. Like the channel's growing. Maybe I should put my iPhone on a tripod and hold it still. You know, so I did that. But basically, I started just by shooting on my iPhone, and then I upgraded and improved since then. And for the past, I don't know, year or two, it's basically kind of been the same format, same thing. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting kind of bored. So it's like, I know some of these principles that work, but for me as a creator, like I feel like I've just kind of lost some of the creative juice that used to go in them. Like it's all kind of the same format, same flow, same predictability, everything. I know that's good for branding on a lot of reasons, but for me, I'm like I'm just not enjoying it as much anymore. And so, and I think if I enjoy it more, then ultimately that'll be best for you guys and for the channel. So as you guys know, right now I have 3 series. Every Tuesday it's the video news, which updates happening, point you to some links, get you up to speed, what's changed so that you can know how to best grow your audience and develop your channel based on a platform that's constantly changing. And then Wednesday is the YouTube tips and ideas, suggestions, advice, things like that. And then Thursday is YouTube Q&A, where I take a question from one of you guys and answer it. And that's been fun. That's been awesome. But I think, Derral, you and I have talked a little bit about this. But it's getting to the point where I want a new way to express myself creatively. In a way that still helps you guys with your channels, with your audience development, most importantly to spread messages that reach people and change lives. Like that's ultimately what I care about. I'm not like really a big YouTube fanboy. I don't really care where that happens as long as that goal happens. And I just think video, and right now YouTube, happens to be a great place to do that. So So do a couple of things differently. I want to start talking more about some things that aren't necessarily going to be like huge searchable, videos, and but I feel like now that I'm at 100,000 subscribers, they're going to help me serve you guys better. Those of you who are here, the 100,000 people who are subscribed to this channel, and give you a couple ideas. And I haven't totally figured out how I'm going to execute all of this, but there's some things I want to start talking more about here that I haven't really talked about as much in the past. And the big umbrella, and then I'll give you a couple pillars underneath of that. But the big umbrella is that what I really care about is helping you guys spread messages that change lives. Like that's the goal of what we're doing. But for you guys personally, and for me, the reason why I'm doing this, and the reason why I think a lot of you guys are doing this also, is because you love the freedom that it gives you, to be self-employed, to stay at home with your family and your kids all day, to do live streams out of your dark basement, and to be able to influence influencers and hear stories all day long of how people's lives are being changed and all that kind of stuff. And I know a lot of you guys want that too. So what I want to start talking more about is all the things that matter about why I'm doing YouTube in the first place, which comes down to family, comes down to marriage, it comes down to freedom, it comes down to entrepreneurship. Even for me, it comes down to faith. And a lot of those things, I want to start talking a lot more about those things, which is kind of like a deeper why level of why this matters and why we're doing this. And I'll still be doing the normal video click here, click there type of stuff, which those are helpful for a lot of you guys. I know that you're in a position where that's what you need right now, and that's awesome. But I want to start balancing that for a lot of us who maybe we know how to click there and click there to do that thing, and now we kind of just want to, the business side. So what I want to talk more about I think I might do these as series, but I'm not sure yet how I'm going to pigeonhole myself into this. But I want to start looking at like what other YouTube creators are doing, and like what they're doing that's new, that's innovative, and maybe start breaking down what they're doing and why it works. And I'm probably gonna start with like my favorite YouTubers that I've been watching since 2006, 7, 2008, 9, and looking at like, hey, this is what attracted me to their channel in the first place. Here's the general principle that we could all learn from, or here's what the Vlog Brothers do really well. In every video, you see that they do this. Here's the general principle we can extract for us, and I want to start pointing at my people I respect and admire on YouTube and people I've learned from, and highlight those guys to you in a way that I think can be valuable for all of us. Number two, second thing is I want to start talking more about like the business side of YouTube. And again, as you guys know, I've told you in the stream, like I'm not really big expert on business by any means. I'm just learning as I go. And hopefully there will be some value in learning my journey. Like when Derral Eves came in and gave me all like the advice of how to start thinking about this type of stuff. And I just bring you guys along on my journey of figuring out like the business side of all this. So I know a lot of YouTubers that are doing book deals. They're getting the filmmaking. They're doing MCM contracts and brand deals, and they're ultimately using their channels to do bigger, better things than just YouTube videos. And hopefully if we look into some of those stories, we can learn from them and also be inspired by what they're doing to reach people. I also just want to do like more live streams that are going to be more like podcast-ish in nature, where we are just going to kick our feet back on the table, so to speak, and just talk about entrepreneurialism, staying at home, how you manage the family along with your business, along with your YouTube and the job, and talk about things like freedom and independence and those types of themes. I don't really know how I'm going to do that exactly, but I do know that's something I desire to talk more about. And then number 4, and lastly, is I want to find a way that just encourages you guys and inspires you to kind of keep going. There's a huge struggle. You guys know this as being a creator. Sometimes you feel like you're alone, and there's just like this big uphill climb. And some of you guys, like I saw some of you guys in the comments in the beginning of this saying like, hey, my number 1 fear right now, or stage right now, and this is fear and anxiety, and how do I do, and some of you guys, I'll just be totally honest, some of you guys will drop out of making videos, and there's nothing wrong with you for that at all, but some of you guys I know just need like a little bit of a push, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of vision casting for here's what the potential is. And not that online video is like, the goal of what we want to do, but talk about these bigger goals and how video might be one of those ways that we can get there. So those are the 4 things I want to talk more about, and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that, but if you guys want to be along for the ride, that's kind of where I want to go, just from a personal, selfish perspective. Not because it's a huge audience development perspective or a community-driven or even money-driven thing. It's just where I'm at personally, and get a lot more personable on this channel than I have in the past. So I want to scroll through some of your comments. Derral and Urgo, you guys got any thoughts on that?
I think you got to do what you're passionate about. If you're losing steam over this, or it's just like, oh, you kind of regret, it's going to show. It's going to show in your videos. But if you bring those other elements in as you're doing maybe your current stuff, you keep on doing a little bit. You figure out the right mix for it. Maybe it'll bring more a refreshing taste or view on how you view your day. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about your time. And if you get up and you're like, oh, I got to make a video, then it's it's going to forecast and it's going to hurt your channel. But if you get up at the beginning of the day and you're like, oh man, I get to do a video, I'm so excited, I'm excited to do this, then it's going to show, and you're going to, of course, develop that audience that you're looking to. So
yeah, to me, okay. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
I was just going to say, just to me, it sounds overall like a really good a mix of everything on what creators in general are thinking also. You have sort of the inspiration side of things and why all of this is happening, how it's benefiting you sort of to spend time with your family and all of that. You have still, if you keep like some of the new things that are changing on YouTube and that type of news type of thing and how it affects people, that helps as well. And then also covering some of the business side of things as more and more people are making a living off of this. That's sort of one of the topics that people don't really talk about that much these days, and I think it would be great to shed light on a lot of the business side of things also there. So I think it actually will help everyone a whole lot. as well as
Yeah.
obviously what Derral was saying about giving you more interest also and everything.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like the thing I don't know about all this is the impact it will have from an audience development perspective. Um, and the other thing that'll happen is right now, like I know I'm just gonna say it as it is, not to be arrogant or cocky, but I know a lot of people perceive me as like a YouTube expert, and now I'm gonna be showing all these things, talking about all these things I have no idea what I'm doing. As far as like business stuff and family stuff and the entrepreneurial side of all this, and how it integrates with like real life. I'm gonna be like, oh, guys, like I have no freaking idea how to make all this work, And
But as long as you're saying you take this journey with me as we figure things out.
Yeah.
I mean that, and being authentic, Tim. You don't have any issue with that. You're gonna be authentic. You're gonna tell them where it's at, and you're like, hey, take this journey with me because I'm still discovering things, and let's discover it together.
And I think part of one of the reason why people like watching your videos, Tim, in general, is you don't. I mean, yes, you do know what you're talking about in the sense that you explain things very well to people, and you're good at delivering the message in general. But I don't think you ever really come across ever saying like I know everything about everything, and people subscribe thinking that that is the case. You are pretty upfront saying that you're learning this along the way, also. Up to this point,
as long as my lessons I'm talking about don't mislead other people.
For sure.
So I'm gonna be very upfront with you guys. Like I don't have any idea what I'm talking about, so let's talk about this, right? So as long as everyone understands that, it'll be more of like a journey thing. So like I said, I haven't figured out. It seems like most guys in the chat are supportive, so that's good. Not too many people flaming me yet. But
to be
we'll
fair, I don't think
it happens. I don't really know what expressions it'll take, but I do know that it's basically been the same thing for the past couple of years. And as I start experimenting with new formats, different types of live streaming and stuff like that, that it's going to be different. And I hope you guys just hang on as I try to figure out what the heck I'm doing in the next phase, so to speak, of video creators. So, and if you don't, that's fine.
I think the biggest thing, Tim, on this too is don't look at the view count as an indicator. I know you had a Facebook post not too long ago of two different types of videos. One was how to make money on YouTube related, and the other one was following your passion. Don't view that way, because I mean, even if you affect a smaller number of people that actually get it, that changes their life. Because I look at it this way. If they're able to avoid some of the pitfalls that most creators have, just because they've valued your content, was engaging with your content, learned something, that makes a huge impact, because they're going to have followers, and those people have followers too. And I definitely wouldn't do it off of view count per se, but I would of course counsel you just a little bit to make sure that you don't break too far from the norm of what you've been doing. Maybe just bring this in and pepper it in as you try to figure things out.
Right.
Because I think if you do it abruptly, it will cause a lot of people to shock that they've been consistently watching you every 3 times a week, and that they're familiar. I think you're going to just need to pepper it in a little bit. So.
Right, because otherwise, the 100 some people are watching and the ones and the other 100,000 are like, what the heck just happened?
Exactly.
So yeah, totally. Let's answer one question, and who was it? They keep asking it over and over and over again. So I want to. Oh, here it is. How to Every. Please answer this question. I prefer using Hitbox for live gaming streams. Should I move to YouTube gaming or stay on Hitbox? I'm not familiar with Hitbox, so.
Hitbox is like Twitch also. It's another one of the sites.
Okay, I'm familiar with Twitch. But.
So we'll take this a different way. YouTube gaming, it's been out for a couple of weeks now. Anyone have any thoughts on it?
I'm actually pretty excited about it. I was, I had a little preview before it was launched, and then once it was launched. But I think it has a lot of potential. I think there's a few little hiccups that they're experiencing. But all in all, I think it's going to be a very solid way for these gamers to really build these communities. I have a couple clients that are in the gaming world, and we're super excited about what it's doing. However, to be honest with you, I'd be on Twitch if it was me. So until YouTube has things figured out. But.
So for his specific question, then, if he's already has his audience over on Hitbox, you recommend he stays there then for now?
how big's his audience? I mean,
Good question.
that I would, I think you could build it on both, but if it's not a very big audience, I'd go where the people are at, and the people that are following live gaming is definitely on Twitch for sure.
Hitbox is definitely a strong contender, I will say. I mean, I'm very familiar with it also, but Twitch is number one probably at the moment. So.
Hope that answers your question. So he says 4,000 subs, 3,000 on YouTube, 300 followers on Hitbox. So. Yeah. Well, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate each of you being a part of the video creators community here, and for all the value that you give to me, not just in supporting me and my family so that we continue to serve you guys, but also in just everything I've learned from you guys. Like in the comments, like it's hard for me to respond to every single comment now, but I still read almost all of them. I would say all of them, except for there are like a few videos in the past that I've missed. But other than that, I read pretty much all the comments, and I do learn from you guys. I don't just say that in the videos because it sounds nice or something. I really do. So I really appreciate and value each one of you guys for all that you've done for me and for my family and for this channel and for other creators in general in the comments of all the videos. And hopefully I can continue to serve you guys well. Definitely go check out Jason Urgo's channel over at Social Blade. And you guys just did a YouTube 101 course or something like that, didn't you, Jason?
Yeah, you can go over to socialblade.com/edu, and yeah, we have actually YouTube 101 and a 102 series that go through a lot of the basics for that.
Cool. So you guys check that out. And then Derral, tell us about your channel also.
Well, you can go over to youtube.com/Derral Eves. I do pretty much anything. But wait. We got to fix this. We got to fix this one. Ready?
You need a
there
hat.
we go. That's much better. No, you can check it out. I do, like, I hate boring tutorials. I like try to liven it up a little bit, put my personality into it. I'm very quirky, but I do love what I do, and what I love doing is making people money. So.
Cool. Well, thank you for your help with me on that, Derral.
You're welcome.
And there are links to their channels in the description below this video right here, so you guys can go check them out if you'd like. But either way, thank you again for hanging out and for being a part of this awesome community, and looking forward to the next 100,000 subscribers, and we'll have no idea where the channel will be at as far as content at that point. But we'll see how we get there. So thanks, guys. Talk to you later.